Conquest Dark is a new game from Eldritch Sword Games. Technically, it came out at the end of April, and one of the reasons it kind of got a little bit of attention was, frankly, because you can make your characters nude. I don't know, whatever. It's kind of like, I guess if that's your thing, that's cool, whatever. But mainly, it's because it's a really good game. This is going to be another Survivor's auto shooter, Souls, not Souls-like, Survivor-like, that sort of thing. Bullet Heaven. I think that's my preferred phrase, is Bullet Heaven. I don't know, I mean, it does a lot of the things that you'd expect out of these particular games. You know, you got a bunch of skills, you got some upgrades, you're going to face hordes and hordes of monsters and all that sort of jazz, and frankly, it's a lot of fun. I have probably dropped about 20 hours into this game since I got it, which was not too long ago, really. It's funny, I talked about this one on Patreon, and in the monthly post I mentioned this game, and I've definitely put in some more time since then. And I don't know that I have any great builds. I mean, I've definitely, I don't know, I've done my share of things. Like, I've had a lot of fun with Ricochet, but today I wanted to do the fire barrage because I haven't had as much luck with this one. So I thought, let's try that. I think that'll be okay. Basically, you got a bunch of different classes in the game. There are even different races. I haven't unlocked any of the other races yet, actually. I've unlocked all the classes. I've unlocked most of the weapons, most of the skills, not all of the artifacts, but I don't know, probably most of them. Here, let's go with multi-shot at this point now. It's kind of interesting the way this game works. You build up energy with each time you land a primary attack, so the little blue meter, you can see that filling up. That's energy, and then when it gets all the way over, it gets used on the power attack ability, which is currently the fire arrow barrage. And I'm going to spend one of these guys over here. We're going to go with, we'll do instant attack chance for right now. That's fine. Oh, exceptional's probably good enough for me. I like waiting until we can get the really, really good stuff, but I don't think... Oh man, the resistance piercing is good though. You know what? I'm going to be okay with this. I mean, we really need to focus more on some fiery stuff, but we'll get there eventually. Maybe, probably, possibly. I fully do not expect to get through this mission? Ritual? I guess it's a ritual. You can see up in the top right corner it's considered Corruption 5. That's because I have a bunch of modifiers running to make it more challenging, so the rewards are better, that sort of thing. I don't know, I don't really need to move the mouse cursor, so I'm probably just going to stop doing that. I am playing mouse and keyboard. I should tell you, this game plays great on the Steam Deck. I mean, you can make it run a little worse. I'm going to go with this one. I don't have burst shot built up, but I really want to lean into the fire this time around with basically every skill except for one. We're not going to use a movement skill that's going to be fire-based. That I'm still going to stick with the one I like. I mean, there are just so many random things to talk about with this game, like there really are. It's just, it's an interesting way to do things. Like these runes that we just put on the weapons there, I'm just going to skip you. I'll wait until we get a better roll, or we have more re-rolls to afford really upgrading, because it's expensive to re-roll stuff. Sure, we'll just do that one. I don't want to spend a re-roll on it. The runes that we put on the skills can be upgraded, but to be able to upgrade them, you need to find the correct thing that drops from someone. So it's not like you have an endless supply of this stuff. It will sometimes drop it, sometimes won't. And one of the modifiers I'm running should have them drop more frequently, but I'm also still running modifiers for more of... You can see the kind of silver 3 shield or 3 coin thing, and the gold looking single coin or single shield thing. I think they are considered coins or tokens, but kind of looks like a shield at a glance, thus I said that. Right now, that's kind of what I'm focusing on, is more of those dropping, so I can continue to upgrade skills and abilities and weapons and all the things. As well as the top bar, the purple bar, is the faction experience. So faction in this case would be the class, the hunter faction, the hunter class. there are bonuses for that. Hunters right now, as you increase that, you get more damage piercing, which basically just bypasses bypasses the enemy's armor. I don't know if it bypasses it 100% when it triggers, or if it bypasses it only a percentage. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in this game. If you go into the game guide, there are a lot of mechanics and things explained here. Like you could find in here somewhere projectile pierce. There you go. Projectile pierce stat allows projectiles to pierce through multiple targets. Oh no, that's not the one I was referring to, so never mind. Anyway, a lot of stuff in here, a lot of help documentation to explain things. There's a lot of variety of stuff you can do. I have found quite a few different weapons builds to be viable. If you're only looking for meta builds, I think this one actually might be closer to a meta build, although I might end up blowing it up, we'll see. I'm not going to really try to min-max it. I mean, there are kind of ways you can do this, and thanks for that. Since we don't really have one of the skills upgraded all the way anyway, I can't really min-max when, you know, we're not at that point. It's kind of fun. Bosses have abilities like this. He's throwing stuff. He's got swirling hammers. I kind of enjoy that. It's going to be too many to upgrade that. So here you go. This is what I was talking about. When you find the scrolls, you can upgrade runes. I'm going to go with this guy right here, damage to burning, because we're going to end up leaning into that this time around. So the last thing we're going to put on this guy is going to be the chance to burn with solar damage. And then we'll take the band of primal power. So just so I can explain a couple of those things really quick. Ooh, increased proc chance. That's a good one. It's going to give us an extra 2% chance to burn. Solar damage just means heat-based damage. Lunar damage is cold damage. Primal is your kind of basic, like, nothing special, just doing some stuff damage. We need Blade Dash, thank you very kindly. And then the chance to burn is just as we're doing damage with heat-based weaponry. In this case, our primary weapon is considered heat-based because it's a solar weapon. That's going to give us a chance to do some damage that way. I took movement ability that allows you to restore dodge charges. We haven't really talked about that. The bottom portion of the screen, or on the character's bar, there's a little kind of gray half arrowhead, I don't know, greater than sign, basically. Those are your dodge charges. The green ones, assuming you're seeing colors the same way I am, would be your movement charges. Oh shoot, I don't remember what I want for this one. I think I want to go with the rapid strike, because the more frequently we're shooting regular arrows, the more frequently we're shooting big old bursts of fire arrows, and we're going to start powering that up in a minute. I was mainly concerned with just getting us up to the point where we're getting a pretty solid energy build constantly. So the other artifact we took, the first one we took, has a chance at massive criticals. It's a 15% chance when you get a critical that it's a massive critical, and if I can hover over it, you can see the description there. Mega criticals, 10 times the normal critical strike damage, which critical strikes are probably in the... well, here, we'll see it right here. Actually, no, we won't. I lied. Here, let's do a critical hit chance on this guy. But our critical hit damage is probably 145%, 150%, something like that. That's around where we are with standard. The other artifact I took, this one down here, is Zaladon's Ring of Rapid Strikes. It just, you know, as long as you're getting some shots off constantly, every time you land a hit, if you are able to continue doing that, you gain 10% attack speed each time. So by the time you're at 10 of them, 100% attack speed. It's a good way to really keep your energy up as you're trying to fire off all sorts of random crap. We're going to work on a little more projectile piercing, because the more we pierce, the more enemies we can hit in the groups like that, the more energy we're creating, the more arrows we can fire out into the field, right? That's what it's all about, is as many arrows as possible. We're going to definitely upgrade some stuff at some point here. I kind of wish I had exactly what I wanted, but we don't, so it's going to be what it's going to be, right? I have no idea how I'm going to upgrade some of these other stats, though, too. I might just, for the burst shot, I might just sacrifice its single slot and use the grant a slot to a random other ability and hope that it lands on the fire barrage, because if it does, we're in business. And if it doesn't, it's not that big a deal. Every few minutes, if you haven't been paying attention, we're getting bosses and events and that sort of thing. You don't always get a boss. It can sometimes be an event. The spirit caravan will come by. It's I won't say it's a passive, but it is a more passive enemy than others, where it's just kind of like a big caravan with some treasure, but they're constantly dropping bombs, so you do have to be mindful of that event. You can get yourself kind of wrecked if you're not paying attention to where all those little bombs are landing. Haven't seen that yet, but here we go. As I was saying, we got every few minutes we're getting some sort of thing going on. I haven't told you the red drops that are coming out. Those are the ones that are these guys up here that you use for upgrades that are going to be account-based effectively. Let's go ahead and give this guy an upgrade to our critical hit damage. So an extra 175% critical hit damage. That'll increase our damage output pretty considerably. Figuring we're getting about 35% critical hits just based on the whole account-based upgrades. It's not bad. Ooh, power of damage all. Yes. I want to pump up this particular skill. So if you're talking about how the build is doing damage, the primary damage is going to come through that the fire arrow barrage. 300 to 500% solar damage, and we just added an extra 20% on that. So that's where the majority of damage is going to be coming from. Here we can increase our solar damage and our target amount. I don't think target amount matters that much with these weapons. I'm not sure. Like maybe we could get up to the point where this guy, like every 10th shot is shooting 4. I don't know, you'd have to watch for that to see. When you have partials like that, that is sort of how the game seems to work. Got a cat coming in, so if I start doing weird stuff in the game, that's why. It's because she's stepping on things. We'll take reduced bleed rate, because at some point I'm going to die, and we'll have to talk about that. Next boss we have, we'll talk about bleed and all that stuff, because that's sort of a thing. I haven't really talked about the movement skill that we took, and I do want to do that. Let's take more piercing, because you can see at this point now we are really starting to build up a bunch of guys because we're not doing enough damage. So the movement ability that I took down here, the blade dash, as you read that, you can get some additional dodge charges out of it, or it'll refresh up to 2 of your dodge charges, and it does a pretty good chunk of damage too. That's not terrible. I haven't tried to build around movement abilities too much. I mean, I sort of have with leap, and I sort of have with this, but not entirely. I am kind of curious to get this one really pumped up so that it can have 3 runes on it and see if it is possible to do a build around it. I mean, the amount of damage it does, it seems like it should be feasible. And we'll worry about upgrading it here in a minute too. Like, we're not there yet. I'm just trying not to lose a life, because I don't want to start talking about that just yet. Actually, you know what? This guy's a good chance. You can see he has a number next to his name, 3. It's going to go down to 2, down to 1, and then it's going to vanish, and he'll have one more thing listed there. It'll just be the bar itself. There you go. So you have lives in this game, which is a really interesting sort of way that this game has opted to go. Most games you have your health meter. That's the green meter above the character, of course. That's health. And as we get hit, that goes down, and you can get some health regeneration. You can find pickups to... gosh, we really need to take another thing now. So here, we'll go ahead and do rarity up, and I'm just going to bite the bullet and do that. I would like more bandit stuff. Bandit's glove, but I'm looking for damage. Stalker wouldn't be bad too. I would be fine with that just for the additional pierce, but I'm just not seeing what I'm wanting right now. Power ability, that's fine. Okay, we'll take that one. I do want to pump up the fire arrow barrage as much as possible. So I'm going to put one more rune in this guy, and we're going to do 82.5% damage to burning. So that's going to make this attack do a lot more damage when it hits guys who are on fire. And because the primary attack has the rune in it to do additional fire proccing, we should be able to use that to pretty decent advantage. Would love to cram one more rune in there, but I don't think it's going to happen. We'll see where we end up. And I don't know which way I would go is the problem. So many decisions. Hey, Commander Isaac is on the board. I don't remember if we've already seen him this particular round, or if it was someone else. No, I don't think it was him, because I don't remember Shield Guy, now that I see him. Yeah, I think we're doing okay damage. I feel okay about this so far. We're about to kick up into Tier 4, so the enemies are going to gain a ton more health, damage, etc. very shortly here. And I would really like some more movement charges. That would be fantastic. I'm going to take chance for rare items, just to see if that'll help out. Getting more gear. Like right now I've kind of gimped us by not taking more gear, because I was trying to save a bunch of rerolls and hoping, honestly, just kind of hoping for a good... Oh wow, there's 2 lives gone just like that. Alright, at this point it's time to start pumping the dodge chances. We do need some of those. I'm just going to sacrifice the burst damage to a random slot. Oh, and it went to the one that I wanted it to go to, and I have no idea how I want to do it. Let's do this guy. 2.5% chance to spawn a healing soul. That's just going to give us a little red dot instead of these green dots. And a 2.5% projectile split chance. That's kind of fun. So we can take the stalker boots over here, which I think I might. And just take more power attack plus some instant attack. I haven't even really talked about that. The instant attack is just, when it says that, it means like you literally just fire off an instant attack with your primary weapon. You're not waiting for the reload. And at some point, you might not notice it as much when you have like Zaladon's ring here. But it is what it is. So just talking a little bit more about the lives and the bleed mechanic, you can see right now, if you watch, we will occasionally, that little 6 popped up over the character. There's another one. So we're taking constant bleed damage now because we've lost a life. Now because we have the chance to find those little health pickups, that's going to slow down the health loss, but we also have like a 2.5% health regen, so it'll end up being enough right now if I don't act like an idiot and constantly get hit. So we'll have to see how that goes. I would really like more movement charges and more dodge charges, but whatever. We'll see how this ends up. My thought right now with... Let's see. I'm going to say let's take more chance to burn, because the burn damage on its own will start stacking and can come to be pretty decent damage. And since we get the extra damage with the power ability on burning characters, this is only going to allow us to do more damage over time. And more damage immediately. More burst damage, more damage over time, all the things. This guy's going to drop some gear for us or something in a minute, some sort of upgrades at least. Double shot chance. Sure, we'll take that. And, ooh, all that stuff. Let's do a reroll, or a rarity up rather. So I might be ready to go back to this guy. That's fine. This will give us another dodge chance, more chance for rare, and an all damage bonus. That's pretty good. Like, the thing that you have to do in this game is keep constantly pumping up your damage. I mean, that's not too different from other games, right? You gotta constantly pump up your damage. So the choice I have right now with the Fire Arrow Barrage is we can go to the Primordial Rune and do... No, that's not the one. It's under Eldritch, I'm sorry. Increased effectiveness of Sun or Primordial Runes. And if we look at this, we can basically take our 82.5% and add another 41.25% to that. Or we could add another... Oh man. Honestly, I'm tempted to go with the Primordial Rune. I don't know if that's the right one. My bad. Back to this one. So that's going to give us an extra 50% increase to our critical hit chance and our critical hit damage. Yeah, I think that was probably the right decision. Let's do movement recharge rate, because the faster our movement charges recharge, the quicker I can get our dodge charges back up. And we'll have a chance to add more charges. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm actually fine with where we are with 3. That's not a bad number. I mean, you can definitely go more, and obviously more is better, but whatever. There's also a artifact, couldn't think of the word, an artifact that we didn't take where you can automatically gain your dodge charges back. It's a 10% chance every time you hit someone with your primary attack, I think primary is what it is, to get a dodge charge back. But if we're using Blade Dash, I don't really think we need to have that. If we were doing a different build, maybe that would be a good one to have. And I can absolutely see the value in just like doubling up on massive dodge and being like, you know what, heck with it, I'm just going to take it too. Take the artifacts so we can get it some passive dodge rebuild, and take the movement skill so we can get some active rebuild. But I don't know, it's fine. And we'll do that one again. I do like movement speed in these games a lot. I like being able to kite enemies if I need to. I like being able to get out of trouble. How you doing? This is going to be the hammer guy again, so I got to kind of be careful getting in his general vicinity. There we go. Yeah, you can see right now he's not taking as much damage as the various bosses have been to this point. Like, not at all. Wow, I got stuck in there. My bad. Oof. Good thing we had some dodge charges built up. And then someone... There must have been another, like, elite guy in there or something. We'll just take the ability damage because that's going to help out. Ancient armor. Hey, I get to talk about ancient armor. So we didn't even really talk about sets. You can see that if you've played Diablo or anything like that. Diablo or... whatever the other non-Diablo games are. But the ancient stuff also includes a passive ability on it, which is kind of fun in addition to just straight up higher numbers on here. All resistances, attack speed. I don't care about that. I'm going to be upset if I don't find a good one I like. I think this is probably going to be it right here. But we'll compare. Yep, we're going to go with this guy, even though there are all sorts of things I would like for each of them. That's what we're going with. Blade Dash, we can finally put a rune in you, and I have no idea what that's going to be. I'm going to say let's do chance to stun. That's just going to give us a little bit of crowd control. It's not a ton, but it's a little bit. And I think we have a little bit of chance to stun with one of the other armor sets we're using anyway, or the other armor set we're using. I'm trying to keep sort of close to this guy, but I'm trying to keep track of the... Ooh, all right. The dodge charges. I tend to lose those. Take more power ability. I'm good with that. And then Blade Dash. Honestly, I don't know what to put in here. I guess we could do... could do that one just for the giggles. What else is on here? We don't want that. Moon isn't going to be great. We could do the sun one and give us more attack reach, and that's probably what I'm going to say. So we're not really using this for damage, so I'm fine with that. Since we have all of our armor, we can now, when we pick up the gear items, we can now increase our, improve our armor. I'm going to say we take power ability because that is our bread and butter right now. That's what kills. That's what does all the damage. Shoot. I'll take damage to frozen for when I do a frozen build. Those are kind of fun too. I mean, there really are so many just different options in the game. Hey, there's the Spirit Caravan. I don't think we're going to be able to do enough damage to take it down at this point, although first guy's looking pretty damaged here. Yeah, we might be able to take... Here, I'm just going to try to feed as many arrows forward as possible in the hopes that we can keep taking them down. Uh-oh. Losing some lives in a hurry. Here, let's take another dodge charge then. Come on. I was really hoping we could take them down. That's alright. They're tier 5 at this point, and as I said, I kind of am struggling to keep up with the damage. And there are the bombs I was talking about that they drop. Yeah, they just kind of sling them everywhere. And you got to be careful. I mean, at this stage of the game, squarely in tier 5, nothing feels good. Everything does a ton of damage. Could really use more movement charges. That would help out on doing things. Because even though the blade dash, we're not really using it strictly for damage, it still does a good chunk right there. And when we get those big, massive criticals, yeah, that helps us cut through guys pretty quickly. I think if I had more runes, I might have been willing to put the damage to stunned in it as well. I don't know that it would immediately trigger, but when you keep enough charges where you can go something like that and back through them again, yeah, that's a good way to use your primordial damage to stunned in addition to your let's stun them combination. Yeah, see, it's not too bad. Like, it's pretty chunky damage. I'm seeing some big numbers. This is working out really well. It's really funny. I have not had great luck with this build before. Trying to use this particular power ability, but I think we've gotten pretty lucky here with getting a good chunk of power damage built up, along with a little bit of all damage. Getting down to the last couple minutes here. At 2 minutes, we're going to get our final boss that'll come onto the field. Come on, let's get rid of this not boss, but elite guy. Oh, 2 gear upgrades. So movement speed, attack speed, projectile amount. I'm fine with attack speed. And I'm going to hope that the next one, there we go, power damage. Because I saw he dropped 2. So I wasn't too worried about it. The extra 20% is going to matter. Absolutely will matter. Good chunk of dodge charges now that we're up to 4. As I said before, I was actually fine with 3, but I do feel better with 4, and we're going to try and get that up a little more too. How you guys doing down there? Yeah, these regular little skeleton guys are going to get shredded. These other dudes, I think they have maybe higher armor, and since we don't have really good armor piercing, we're not able to shred through them as much as I would like. Now you'll notice this particular set of bosses has 2 guys. So we got an archer here and what looks like sort of a paladin. And we got an archer up here too. So multi-archer. But I'd say we're doing decent damage on them right now. I feel pretty good about this. Yeah, that's actually really good. For where I'm usually at, for you, I don't know. You might be like, you're not doing enough damage, or and if you know this game well and you came here looking for tips, I'm sorry. This is really just more for showcasing the game itself and why this is absolutely worth the money. Really enjoyable game. Like, this is... The genre itself is really kind of my go-to to just sit down on the couch and unwind after a long day. And we'll take some increased stun chance because that is helpful. 24% all damage. Let's take all damage and attack speed. I mean, we could take the power attack damage, but why take that when we can get all damage of the same value right now? And I guess we can do that one. 2.5% damage per life lost, so we've already lost 6 lives. So if you do the math, it's an extra 15% damage or thereabouts. It's not too bad. Yeah, we're going to get through this no problem. I feel confident about this. Now, having said that, we are not out of the awful area just yet. There's still a good chance that things can go sideways. And we'll take some resistance piercing, and I'm trying to get us moved a little bit. So I saw a bunch of guys spawning, and there are some not fun ones in here. More dodge, please. I think power is just going to give you a generic sort of power increase that I have to go look at the game guide to see what that means, like a generic damage increase. But since I would like more dodge, that seems like the thing to take. Yeah, this build's working pretty well. And I'm sure if we had burst shot pumped up a little more, we could do some more things with that. Like, I don't know, maybe that could be converted to primal damage. Although, then you'd lose as many burn opportunities. That's kind of a tough call. It only fires once every 3 seconds, though, so I might not feel as bad about it. But I was thinking maybe that one can be converted to primal and do the stun, and then you still have Blade Dash doing the damage to stunned enemies. I don't know. Lots of options either way. Sure, we'll take that. or projectile pierce. I don't think the force is going to matter much, not at this stage of the game. Like, I think that's considered knockback, something along those lines, but I mean, they're tier 5 enemies, it's not going to matter. And I don't think we can get enough in the time remaining to really like pump it up to 200 or something and have it make a difference. I don't even know if that would make a difference. I've never gotten it more than 150, and I can't really say I noticed much difference at 150. Sure, more attack speed. More attack speed. More attack speed means more barrages. More barrages means more damage. More damage means better chance of surviving another 20 seconds for the fun end part. If you haven't noticed, by the way, just kind of fun. As we've lost our lives, we've lost our limbs and skin and all that stuff too. The enemies do that as well, if you didn't notice. One of those fun little things. So many interesting ideas with this game, and it just goes to prove there are still all sorts of new things you can do in these games. Ritual completed. There we go. There's the green guys. They're showing up. They're going to kill us pretty much instantly. But I was kind of curious what happens. Oh, wow, we can kite them. I've never been able to kite them before. Dang it. I haven't killed them yet, but I have a feeling that is not far off, and I kind of know what to do now, I think. Very interesting. We'll return to the main world here. You can see there's all sorts of stuff. Things like this, the Oathbound and the Order of Sahez, Thieves Guild, those are all of your class-based things. The altars are where you go to spend these purple stones over here to increase the ritual challenge. So right now, if I were to spend one, that would take it from ritual 5 to ritual 6. That's what all the altars are for. These different circle ones are your missions. The Stygian Archive is where you put in all of your upgrades for your items. Pale Desolation is a special one, which has a ritual that you sort of increase the rate on your own. And then I think that's pretty much it right now, aside from this guy. I still haven't beaten the boss yet. Not quite there yet. This encounter is hard. You're not expected to beat it with the currently available power in the game. That gives you an idea. Now, some of these things over here, they're not active yet. Like, I know there's one over here, the arena, which gives you an endless dark ritual. And I don't know if these other ruins and things are going to be something that are activated later, or they're just not active yet, period. I'm not sure how that works. Last thing I'll show you here are just all the archives with all the upgrades. So here are the weapons sets, 20 weapons, 9 armor sets, 18 power abilities, 15 passive, 12 movement, 27 runes. I'm missing Urk and Pox, so double shot chance and damage increased per life lost. And I'm also missing 2 things here, either Berserker and Ancient Arrowhead. And I'm not sure where I'm going to get those, but at some point I will get them. I haven't quite figured out where they unlock. Some of these things are based on getting your guild up to a high enough level for things. Like here's one of the race unlocks will be there, and then I wanted to say this one is another race unlock too, with the Cult of Ku. Anyway, really fun game. I genuinely enjoy the crap out of it. I kind of wish I could, I don't know, earn more credits faster, but it's fine. It's good. I really, really, truly enjoy this game. And while I have it up right here, I'm going to move this up to level 10, so it now has 3 slots on it, and I'm going to call this one good. Just because I can, we'll get that guy upgraded too. Got you next one, Dylan. Thanks for watching. See you later.